go get some more coffee. You want to take a coffee break?
I literally just started.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, fuck. Why don't we just roll with it?
I mean, I can pause it.
And then we can go get coffee.
Do you have to make it?
No.
Is it made?
Let's just record, actually.
Okay.
Because they may have drank it.
Okay. I was going to say, because I'll have to leave after we get done with
It'd be a
this.
huge disappointment for us to get in there and there would be no coffee.
All right. Another story. Are you ready? This
Yeah.
one's a murder mystery type. Creepy. Too spooky for me.
What the fuck? You turned into a 10-year-old. With a stuttering problem.
So, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready for the darkness. Can I have a hit off your vape first? Didn't mean to interrupt. Are we ever going to start? That's the question.
That is a good question. All right. That's a menthol flavor.
Tasty.
Yeah, it's
Tastes like toothpaste.
Strawberry, watermelon, and apple.
Mmm.
All right, so December 1st, 1948, 6:30 a.m., police were contacted after the body of a man was discovered on Somerton Beach near Glenelg, Australia. The man was found lying in the sand across from, this is the real name, I did not make up this next part. He was found lying in the sand across from the Crippled Children's Home.
Why is that funny? Why did that hit me the way it did? Crippled children.
Just because you would never see something named that today.
The Crippled Children's.
The Crippled Children's Home.
I'd like to go hang out there.
The man was lying back with his head resting against the seawall and his legs extended with his feet crossed. It was believed he had died while sleeping. An unlit cigarette was found on the right side collar of his coat.
Just sleeping in the fucking road.
Police searched his pockets and found an unused second-class train ticket from Adelaide to Henley Beach, a bus ticket from the city, a U.S.-manufactured aluminum comb,
What the fuck is this guy going?
a half-empty packet of juicy fruit chewing gum, a quarter-full box of matches, and a pack of cigarettes that contained a different cigarette brand than what was on the packaging. So he had, this is not the actual brands, but it's like he had a pack of Camel cigarettes, but there were like Tahoes inside.
He was just bumming. He needed a box. He needed a box to keep the bummed cigarettes in.
Witnesses came forward and said that they had seen an individual resembling the dead man the night before on November 30th.
Was he dead then?
A couple saw him at around 7 p.m. and noted that they saw him move his right arm upwards and drop it limply.
And they didn't check on him? Bunch of cocksuckers.
Well, they had to go have sex on the beach. Like,
He'll be okay.
another couple who saw him between 7:30 and 8 p.m. stated they did not see him move.
Got a lot of people.
Although they noticed that when they looked at him a second time, his position appeared to have changed.
See, this is just a homage to how shitty people are.
Both couples admitted it appeared odd, but thought the man was just drunk and did not investigate further.
Just a drunk guy. We see it every night.
One other witness came forward 11 years later in 1959 and stated that he and 3 others had seen a well-dressed man carrying another man on his shoulders along the beach the night before the body was found. But no proof of this was ever found.
I just picture him sleeping in his bed 11 years later and just stumbling awake.
Oh, shit! It was that guy! I gotta call somebody!
Yeah, exactly. He can't sleep for like 4 days.
According to pathologist John Burton Cleland, the man was of British appearance and looked to be between 40 and 45 years old. Cleland also noted that the man appeared to be in top physical condition. He was about 5 feet and 11 inches tall, with gray-blue eyes, gingered color hair that was graying around the temples, and big and little toes that met in a wedge shape like those of a dancer, with high calf muscles consistent with people who regularly wore work boots or performed ballet.
He's a shorter Paul Bunyan.
He wore a white shirt, a red, white, and blue tie, brown pants,
Hell yeah.
socks and shoes, and a brown knitted pullover of American tailoring.
American Irish.
He was clean-shaven and carried no ID. All the labels on his clothes had been removed. And he had no hat, which was unusual for 1948, and no wallet.
What?
Everybody wore a hat back then.
They did, didn't they?
Everybody
They always
wore
had
hat.
a fucking...
But he didn't. His dental...
But he didn't.
He was a trendsetter, bro. That's why they got rid of him.
You said, but he didn't.
That's why they got rid of him.
Makes sense.
So, his dental records were not able to be matched to any known person. Just wait, bro.
I'm trying so
Dude,
hard.
Autopsy results showed that the man's last meal was a pastry that was eaten 3 to 4 hours before death.
Tasty.
But tests failed to reveal any foreign substance in his body. Cleland, the pathologist, claimed that the death was not natural and suggested that the man had been poisoned.
By the pastry.
But the pastry had not contained the poison.
Oh, okay.
So,
Pastry was good, guys. Pastry was good.
on January 14th, 1949, staff at the Adelaide railway station discovered a brown suitcase with its label removed that had been checked into the station cloakroom after 11 a.m. on November 30th, 1948, the day before the man was found. It was believed that the suitcase belonged to the man who had been found on the beach. Inside the case was a red dress gown, a size 11 pair of felt slippers, 4 pairs of men's underwear, pajamas, shaving items, a light brown pair of dress pants with sand in the cuffs at the bottom, a screwdriver, a table knife that had been cut into like a really short, sharp instrument,
Shiv.
and a pair of scissors with sharpened points, a small square of zinc, and a stenciling brush typically used by police.
Fuck are you gonna need zinc for? Sorry, that's all I'm wondering, you know?
Also in the suitcase was a thread of Barber brand orange thread that was not available for purchase in Australia.
What is Barber brand?
It's like the brand name is Barber.
Okay, I thought it was
Yeah,
like
it's
a special thread barbers used.
But it was unavailable for purchase in Australia.
Crikey.
But the same thread that was used to repair a pocket in the pants that the man was wearing when he was found. It was the same thread.
Uh-oh, had a hole in his pocket.
All identification marks on the clothes had been removed, but police found the name T. Keene on a tie, Keene written on a laundry bag, and Keene spelled differently than the other two because there was no E at the end, on a bracelet. Police believe that whoever removed the clothing tags either overlooked these items or purposely left them on the clothes, knowing that Keene was not the dead man's real name. What police found unusual was that there were no spare socks and no letters, even though police had found pencils and unused stationery. Excuse me.
Oh, it's okay.
All right, so...
All right. Oh, God, it smells like bologna.
Does it really?
Yeah, kind of.
I'm sorry.
Bologna today?
No, I have not. That's weird.
It is weird.
I'm sorry.
It is, well, you're fine. I was just...
A search ensued, but there were no reports of a T. Keene missing in any English-speaking country. Nowhere that spoke English was missing this dude.
They didn't give a fuck.
All that could be gathered from the suitcase was that the coat found in the case had been manufactured in the United States. The coat had not been imported, as the brand was not available for purchase in Australia, meaning the man had been to the United States before or had gotten the coat from someone else who had.
I'm telling you, man. People that travel make me so jealous, especially now.
An inquest into the death, conducted by Thomas Cleland, commenced a few days after the body was found, but was adjourned until June 17th, 1949. The investigating pathologist, John Cleland, re-examined the body and made a number of new discoveries at that time. Cleland noted that the man's shoes were remarkably clean and appeared to have been polished and seemed to have not been in a state of use, which was unusual considering the man had been found on a beach. Cleland added that the evidence further advanced the theory that the man had been brought to the beach after his death.
And then they put shoes on him.
He was cleaned up and redressed and then placed at the beach.
I bet he was killed by a mortician.
It was noted that the couple who had seen the man lift his arm could have been witnessing a last convulsion before the man ultimately died.
Please help me. That guy's all right.
He's drunk.
Let's just get out of here. Let's go fuck on the beach.
Around the same time as the inquest in 1949,
Get sand in your coochie.
a small piece of rolled up paper was found in the pocket of the dead man's pants.
What did it say?
The paper had 2 words that were printed, not written.
Like printed as in off of a printer.
Yep, and the words were Tamam Shud.
Is that like fucking Latin for something?
The paper had been cut from a copy of the book. Here we go. Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, a book of poetry which at the time of the man's death was a trendy book to own.
Where is it from?
So,
I'm going to be thinking about this all night.
the theme of the book is that people should live life to the fullest and have no regret when it ends.
Carpe diem.
The book's very last words were Tamam Shud, which roughly translated from Persian dialect mean it has ended.
As in life. Hey, oh wow.
Yeah,
It's all coming full circle
see
here.
what's happening now. All right, police conducted a nationwide search to find the copy of the book that had the piece of that page missing. Following a public appeal by police, the copy of the book, which had the page torn, was located. A man showed police the 1941 edition of the book that had originally been published in New Zealand. Detective Sergeant Lionel Lean, who had led the investigation, often protected the identity of witnesses by using fake names, and Lean referred to the man who had produced the book as Ronald Francis. The man who had never been fully identified and only showed police the book with the missing page after he had seen an article about it in the previous day's newspaper. He stated he had found the book in an unlocked parked car that he shared with his roommate. Also found in the back of the book were faint indentations representing 5 lines of written text in capital letters. So it's basically, you know how when you write on multiple pieces of paper and you take the top piece, you can kind of see what's been written on the second piece underneath.
Witchcraft.
That's what it was. So they were able to see what had been written on the page before it. The second line had been marked through, but none of the lines made any sense, and they had made up some sort of code, and to this day, the code has not been solved.
I know a guy who was a Navy warfare information officer. I feel like he could crack that code. He apparently cracked the code of the Bible, so clearly he can crack that code.
Okay, well.
That's what he said anyway.
A telephone number was also found in the back of the book. That telephone number belonged to a nurse named Jessica Ellen Thompson, who lived on Mosley Street, about 1,300 feet north of where the man's body was found. When she was interviewed by police, she stated that she did not know the dead man or why he would have her phone number written down. She did report, however, that
A likely story.
She did report, however, that sometime in late 1948, an unidentified man had attempted to visit her and asked her next-door neighbor about her.
Could have got the phone number there.
Jerry Feltus, who has since written a book about this case, states that the woman was very evasive and acted very strangely throughout the interview process.
Because she's lying.
In 1949, Jessica Thompson requested that police not keep a permanent record of her name or release her details related to the case.
Like they're gonna do that.
As it would be embarrassing and harmful to her reputation to be linked to such a thing.
So all the stuff that I told you, could you just forget I told you, please?
The police agreed.
Are you fucking serious? When does that ever happen?
That's 1949. It's a very different time.
What the fuck?
But yeah, the police agreed.
All right, fine. We'll just chuck this out the window, yeah. Why not?
So, When she was later shown the plaster cast of the dead man's face and upper body that police had made when the body was found,
Word.
she said she could not identify the person depicted. According to Detective Lean, he described her reaction as, quote, completely taken aback to the point of giving the appearance that she was about to faint.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're a terrible fucking liar.
In an interview many years later, Paul Lawson, the technician who had made the cast and was present when Thompson viewed it, stated that after she looked at it, she immediately looked away and would not look at it again. Thompson stated that while she was working at the Royal North Shore Hospital in Sydney during World War II,
She's a nice.
she had owned a copy of the book that was found.
Gotta pass the time somehow.
She stated that in 1945, she had given the book to an army lieutenant named Alf Boxall,
Alf.
who was serving at the time in the water transport section of the Royal Australian Engineers.
Say anything about having a long snout in there?
She told police that after the war had ended, she had moved to Melbourne and gotten married. She said that she had received a love letter from Alf Boxall, and she had replied telling him that she was now married.
Get out of here.
There is no evidence that Alf had contacted her after 1945.
I'm sorry, I'm not into you anymore. I'm into another guy.
As a result of their conversations with Thompson, police started to suspect that Alf Boxall could be the dead man.
He's an anteater.
However, Boxall was found in Sydney, Australia in July 1949, and he still had possession of the book that Thompson had given him, and his copy of the book was not missing any pages.
By the way, I know that I'm giving these guys thick Brooklyn accents. I don't know where they're from. I'm just picturing...
This is all in Australia.
Oh, crikey. I fucked up.
I said that in the first sentence.
Not only that, but it's even in the title of the episode. So I don't know what the fuck my problem is.
In 1949, the body of the unknown man was buried in Adelaide's West Terrace Cemetery, where the Salvation Army conducted a small service. Years after the burial, flowers began to appear on the man's grave. Police questioned a woman seen leaving the cemetery one evening, but she claimed that she did not know who was leaving the flowers, and she did not know anything about the man.
They'll show up here.
Around this time, Ina Harvey, the receptionist from the Strathmore Hotel opposite the Adelaide railway station, revealed that a strange man had stayed in room 21 or 23 for a few days around the time of the death and had checked out on November 30th, 1948.
Peace out, dogs.
Harvey recalled that he was English speaking and only carrying a small black case like that of a doctor. When an employee looked inside the case as it was being checked in, the employee told Harvey he saw an object that he described as looking like a needle.
What did you say like that? A needle. A needle.
So now we skip forward many years.
He is a doctor.
And in March 2009, a team led by Professor Derek Abbott began attempting to solve the case and proposed digging the body back up to test for possible DNA traces with modern technology.
Makes sense.
His investigation led to the discovery that the dead man's autopsy reports from 1948 and 1949 were missing. And notes that the Clelands had been keeping were missing as well.
Still a mystery, huh?
They examined images of the dead man's ears and found that his upper ear hollow was larger than his lower ear hollow.
That could play into this somehow.
A feature that only 1 to 2% of the Caucasian population has.
He's a rare guy.
In May 2009, Abbott consulted with dental experts who concluded that the dead man had hypodontia, a rare genetic disorder of both lateral incisor teeth, a feature only present in 2% of the world's population.
This guy was just a crazy genetic accident gone wrong.
In June 2010, Abbott obtained a photograph of Miss Thompson's oldest son, Robin, and the picture showed that Robin had both a larger ear hollow and the same tooth disorder.
Wonder if he stashed things in there.
Do you realize what just happened?
What just happened?
The woman that they interviewed, whose phone number was in the book, had a son around that time.
Uh-oh.
And the son has the same genetic disorders as the dead guy.
So clearly, that's his dad.
Abbott had suggested that Robin Thompson, who was 16 months old in 1948, may have been a child of the dead man and was passed off as Jessica Thompson's husband's son. DNA tests would prove whether this theory is true or not, but in October 2011, Attorney General John Rao refused permission to exhume the man's body. In 2015, Derek Abbott was found to have gotten married to Rachel Thompson, the daughter of Robin Thompson, and the granddaughter of Jessica Thompson.
What a mess.
This dude... So think about it. It might not even be that he loves this woman. He's just trying to get close to the family so he can get DNA. So he married the granddaughter.
He was like, you know what? This will get me in for sure. And lo and behold, every Christmas.
And in December 2017, Abbott announced that he had found 3 hairs that would be excellent for testing DNA on the bust that police had made of the dead man, and he submitted them for analysis to the Australian Centre for Ancient DNA.
I mean, I get that this dude's probably looked at as a hero or whatever for doing this and all that, but you gotta think, what kind of fucking creep you have to be. You know what, these hairs, they're perfect. They're perfect hairs for testing.
So the Center for Ancient DNA found that the dead man and the dead man's mother belonged to a haplogroup of H4A1A1A.
What does that mean?
It's their genetics.
You're like, fuck if I know.
But it is only possessed by 1% of all Europeans.
Just Europeans, too.
Just Europeans, too. So, yeah.
That's a pretty big gene pool.
So, Jessica Thompson's daughter, Katie,
A lot of incest.
has since stated that her mother did know the identity of the dead man. Katie suggested that both the dead man and her mother had been spies, noting that her mother had taught English to migrants, was interested in communism, and could fluently speak Russian. But she would not tell Katie where she had learned it or why.
It all goes hand in hand, you know.
Robin Thompson's widow, Roma, the daughter-in-law of Jessica Thompson, suggested that the dead man was Robin's father, which is why Robin has both genetic defects that the dead man had. This sparked interest in, once again, digging the dead man's body up for DNA.
I just need to let that guy rest. Fuck.
In October 2019, South Australian Attorney General Vicky Chapman granted approval for the man's body to be exhumed to extract DNA for analysis.
You know what? Fine. One more time. That's it.
No results have been released yet, as the research was halted by the 2020 coronavirus pandemic.
Oh, what a shock.
Just another thing that it's ruined.
I'm telling you right now, they're never going to figure this out, apparently, because...
So, I'm going to keep up with this story, and if I find anything else out, I'll let you know.
You're wasting your time. The world's going to end after...
Oh, that's right.
The world's going to end after November. After the election.
You think so?
Yeah, the coronavirus is going to disappear, and then the world's going to end.
Why is the world going to end? Who said that?
Me.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I've heard the argument about coronavirus disappearing after the election.
After the election.
Everyone's going to be cured after the election.
You're going to magically disappear.
It's going to
You just watch.
It's going to be crazy.
Every election year, something crazy like this happens.
Which is true, but it's all coincidence.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know, man. There's part of me that...
Well, we're the only country that still got it. Yeah, because we're the only country that didn't fucking listen to the doctors that told us to quit doing shit.
Yeah, we are. We are the only people. Because Japan, they didn't even close down. They just wore masks everywhere. That's a fun fact for you.
Yeah.
They never closed anything down.
And what happened? Only a couple thousand people died, and now they're, like, back to normal.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, not to discredit the people that died, but they're already back to normal.
Yeah.
Like,
And we're over
which
here.
they already kind of were, because what did they do? Oh, everyone wore masks, and guess what? Only like 0.5% of their population got sick with it.
And even whenever we were making it mandatory to wear masks over here in certain areas,
people rioted.
not only that, people would come up with like, oh, I have asthma, I can't wear a mask. And
That was...
That argument's the dumbest thing ever. It's been disproven. There is no oxygen saturation when it comes to wearing a mask. There's literally 0%.
Well, you're just a sheep.
There's a guy who was a nurse who actually hooked up the oxygen reader to his finger.
Oh, yeah,
And
I saw
he
that.
put like 7 masks on.
And he was in a car.
No change.
And he was in a car with the windows rolled up.
No change whatsoever. You people are the sheep listening to that dumb motherfucker who got...
No, you're the sheep that you wear that goddamn mask out.
Got in the White House by chance, just like everybody who gets in the fucking White House.
He got in the White House because he's the best goddamn man for the job.
You know who the best goddamn man for the job of president is?
Chuck Norris.
No man.
Who?
No one. It's a stupid fucking idea. It takes,
no man, okay.
it
I see what you're saying there.
it's just a stupid... It takes more than one fucking guy. I'm sorry, it's a stupid
Well,
old...
that's why we have the whole government, Seth. Damn.
It's a stupid old idea. And you people are stupid for buying into it all this time and fucking... You gotta vote this year. Your vote counts. Suck my dick. Okay?
Yeah, because they conveniently forget the Electoral College exists.
Fucking suck my big fat chode. You know what I tell people every time they tell me to vote? I can jerk off at home. Thank you very much. I'll be at home. Thank you.
Well, now the big thing is we can't vote because coronavirus.
Oh, they're going to get you to mail in your votes now. That's going to be fucking easy to not manipulate in any way.
Yeah, like, and I very much agree with the Republicans on that part of it, because they're like, you really think people are not going to fake vote, basically?
I know I am.
Like voter fraud. And it's like, the Republicans are upset because they're like, there's no way to check if they are the ones that did that. And I'm like, they have a really good point. For once, they have a really good point. Because I know for a fact that both of my dead grandparents received a ballot.
Are you for real?
My uncle received 2 in his name.
Yeah. What are they doing?
And my cousin received 3 for people that lived in her house before she did.
See, that in itself is proof. That in itself is proof that voting does not matter. It doesn't matter, people. Quit trying to push the narrative on me than it does whenever you do stupid shit like this.
Yeah, so basically, out of, how many is that? So 2, 4, 7. Out of 7 ballots that got mailed, only 2 of them would be valid. My cousin and my uncle. Because 2 of them belong to dead people, and the other 3 belong to... Oh, sorry, no. The other 3 belong to people that lived there previously, and then 1 is a duplicate.
See what I'm saying? Makes no sense. And if they can make mistakes like that, what makes you think that...
Well, they'll count it right when they get everybody's in.
Well, I mean, what makes you think that this whole time it hasn't been bullshit? Seriously. I hate when people try to push that shit on you. It's like, it's honestly worse than having religion pushed on you. Because at least it's 50-50 with religion, right? At least it's 50.
You can't prove or disprove it.
Yeah. You can actually prove that this is fucking stupid and has no logic to it whatsoever, and there's still going to be some dumbass in a polo shirt and khakis going, come on, man, you're going to make a difference. My name's Chad. We got to make a difference, man.
Bringing Chad
Suck
back.
my fucking dick once again.
Well,
I'd honestly rather cut my dick off and throw it in the river than listen to someone spew that bullshit.
Well, we're going to end with the voter fraud.
Apparently it struck a nerve with me.
Apparently. We found Seth's boiling point. But
it's a hot button, don't touch it.
we'll see what happens in November. We'll keep y'all posted.
Yeah, you'll see if you don't die from the coronavirus or getting hit by a car.
So if you don't die, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, if I don't die, we'll see you next time too. I could get hit by. Look at that fucking. Woo! Woo!
A boat just drove by with a bunch of red, white, and blue banners flying out. He was very patriotic. I bet he votes.
I bet he votes hard with a heart on.